So you know now what kind of business you want to create in 2020 and how to really understand what's going to get you the furthest, the fastest. But the thing is, you can have all of the plans in the world, but if you don't know how to actually get started, then what the hell are you supposed to do? So basically, I wanted to make this video because I wanted to give you an action plan, because I have seen so many comments here on my channel. I see them on Instagram, I see them in my DMs, and I actually asked recently in my Facebook group, what do you feel like keeps you stuck from taking action on your dreams and what you really want to achieve? And the answers are really interesting to me, and it also brought me back because I know that feeling. It took me a whole year before I ever dove into YouTube because I was so stuck. And I had analysis paralysis, as I like to call it, which means I was just kind of constantly thinking through all the perfectionist little details and how it should look and what I should be doing instead of actually taking action. So I've been in that place. I know what it feels like. And I wanted to just share some of the comments that I got in our YouTube for Bosses Facebook group about what it feels like to be stuck, because you can probably relate to these, and let me know in the comments if you can, and give me a like if you're excited to actually start taking action and make 2020 the best year ever. So some of the comments were wondering if the thing that I'm doing at any given moment is the right thing. Second guessing yourself all the time. Confidence, for sure. I've just started in this field with absolutely zero experience. Everything can be a little intimidating at times. I don't feel stuck, but I do sometimes feel like everyone is succeeding except me. Hi, I still sometimes feel that way. It's so normal. Delayed gratification. I know slow and steady wins the race, but when I feel like I put in a ton of work and don't get the results I expect, I feel kind of dissuaded. Too much planning, not enough action. Totally understand that. And I keep getting this futile feeling that my niche is already completely covered by a few extremely popular creators. Like, how am I supposed to compete? And I'm stuck because I don't know video editing very well. Okay, so there were like hundreds of comments when I asked this question, and that's what motivated me to create this video, because I get it. It's normal, but I want to get you unstuck so you can start taking action. So I'm going to share some tactics today that I use to get over my analysis paralysis and get over my fear in order to actually build momentum in my business. In the last 4 years, my life has completely changed, and it's all because I started taking action. I stopped thinking and being in my head about how do I make a business online? How do I build a YouTube channel? How do I get my first subscriber? I stopped thinking about it and I just started doing the things. But I know that's easier said than done, especially if you're at the very beginning stage of your career or your business. So no matter where you are in your journey, I know this is gonna be helpful for you. So again, hit that like button if you're excited, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified every time we post a new video, and let's dive in. So I have my notes beside me, which is why I keep looking down, but I wanted to make sure I had my notes here because this is a really important topic and I know it affects you. And so I wanted to make sure that I was as well prepared as possible to really get you unstuck. So again, I waited an entire year before I did anything on YouTube because I was overthinking all of the details. And same thing, I was like, I'm not seen as an expert. I don't have an audience online. Even though I'd been doing what I was doing and had a social media agency for 4 years before I did anything online, I still didn't feel like an expert because it feels like nowadays if you don't have a following, no one can see or hear you. So I just kept playing small to keep myself safe instead of putting myself out there. So the first thing that I want you to know is that you are not a special snowflake. And I know that might sound weird, but what I mean by that is that I definitely thought about myself before I started this business and started making content or had any following online. I was like, why would I be successful at this? I don't deserve to be successful at this, and I don't know how to be successful at this, so I'm not going to be successful. And that is such a limiting belief, and I was the only person stopping myself from success, because this is the thing. If you look at any field, it doesn't matter what you do, even if you have no experience, you can learn. And you have everything at your fingertips right now to be able to learn and become the expert. So you are not a special snowflake in the sense that if there are already people achieving things that you want to achieve and are doing well in the area that you want to do well, why can't you? And honestly, this was my light bulb moment. I remember sitting down and seeing someone who had created the business that I kind of wanted to create, and it was so far off. They were making like, I don't even know, like $15 million a year at that point. And I looked at them and I was like, wait, yes, that's amazing. Yes, that seems really far from where I am right now. But if that person can do it, why can't I do it? Very similar to, let's say you're an athlete. You are not a special snowflake. If you really want to be a professional athlete and you train your entire life for it, yes, there's external circumstances, you might get injured, etc. But there's proven success clues and a proven path of people who have already succeeded. So why can't you? So I just want you to always ask yourself that, why can't you? And the next thing I wanted to say is that the only way that you're not going to win and you're not going to achieve what you want is if you quit. But if you never quit, you will win. Because Lord knows that my business did not always look like this. We were not always generating multiple millions every year. We were not always having customers coming in left, right, and center. We did not always have a global audience. At one point, I had no following at all. And that was just 4 years ago. So it's the only thing that is holding you back is quitting or stopping yourself from taking action. So I just want to kind of set the stage with just that. Now, the thing that you need to know right off the bat, the first thing that I really wanted to dive into is don't reinvent the wheel. So very similar to what I was just saying is that there are success clues. And I will say this a lot. Success clues are your best first step to actually taking action and getting unstuck, which is literally just using Google or YouTube, which you're on right now. Watch till the end of the video and then do this. But using Google or using YouTube to search the topic or the type of channel or whatever it is that you're trying to build, the type of business you want to build, using things like Amazon and searching them as well, because I can guarantee you someone is doing the thing that you want to do. And again, because you're not a special snowflake and you are fully capable of success, because if they can do it, why can't you? Why can't you? Then you just need the clues and the success path to show that it's actually possible. So don't reinvent the wheel. Look at what's already worked and adapt that to your own plan. I think the biggest thing with staying stuck is that people are like, I am going to create the first business of its kind. I'm going to be the first person to do this. I'm going to be the first person to ever invent this. That is a big undertaking. And most of the time, whatever you want to do, it's already been done, but that's actually a great thing because you don't have to start from scratch and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So find the people who are doing the things that you want to do and they become your mentors, even if you never speak to them. I'm sure a lot of you look at me as a mentor, which I appreciate. And maybe we've never met, and I hope we do meet in real life soon. But even if we've never met, I'm sure that you've been able to learn a lot from my content, and I hope you have over the last couple of years so that you could start taking action because there is so much information out there, but you just gotta hone in on the people who are actually doing the things that you want to do. So don't reinvent the wheel. If you wanna be a beauty blogger, look at the people who are succeeding in that space, and maybe even look at the people who are just starting out and see how they did it, because that's an even clearer path to success. If someone started from 0 and now they have 1,000 subscribers on their channel and they're picking up steam, look at their channel and see how they got there. What topics are they covering? Are they picking a specific niche inside of the beauty industry? There are so many clues out there, you just have to look. So the first step is honestly just start Googling and YouTubing and going on Amazon and looking up the thing that you want to be and talk about and find the people who will give you that success path and those clues to success. Okay, so that's the first thing I really wanted to talk about. The next thing is make it a must. So I spoke about this in my video where I asked you guys to stop watching YouTube videos. If you haven't watched that video, we'll link to it below. And the reason being is that we, again, have so much information at our fingertips, but I think we're always inundated with so much information, we don't really know what to listen to. And then we have all this information, but we're not actually doing anything with it. So making it a must means blocking time out every single day and every single week to focus on the people, as I just mentioned, who are doing the things that you want to do so that you can study and find the path to actually start taking action. So making it a must is versus saying like, oh, I really should start a business next year. Or I really should start a YouTube channel next year. Anything that's a should just ain't gonna happen. It's like saying, I really should go to the gym today. If it's not a must, you're gonna choose not to go, because if you leave it up to your brain to make those decisions, your brain automatically wants to keep you safe, it wants to protect you, and there's a little inner critic in there that just is always there that basically is trying to limit you from taking that big action, because the big action is scary and it opens you up to criticism, potentially. It opens you up to an audience, but it also opens you up to your dreams. So make it a must. You want to block out the time, even if it's for half an hour a day right now. That micro action is going to get you where you want to go. So stop saying should and make it a must. So I would love for you to comment below and tell me what is your must for this week. What must you do? Even if it's, I must read that book on the topic that I want to build a business around, or I must get a ticket to that workshop that I really want to attend, or I must watch that YouTube from that person who's already killing it in this industry. Make it a must and block out the time in your calendar to do it. If you want to check out my video on how I plan my day, that'll be super helpful for you as well. We'll link to that in the description. You can also check it out right here. So that's the next thing. Now, the smaller and more attainable and actionable goals you can create, the more you're actually going to achieve the things that you really want to achieve. I learned this the hard way. I was thinking to myself before I started my YouTube channel, when I was in that stuck and I was just in analysis paralysis, I was like, okay, I want to get to 100,000 subscribers. And that's a great goal, but going from 0 to 100,000 subscribers is not an easy feat. And I had to break it down. So then I broke it down into, I want to get to my first 50. I want to get to my first 100. And I would acknowledge all of those people that were on my channel, whether it was one person or 100 people. I wanted to build that community. And that's been a big piece of why this channel has been successful. So really acknowledging the small goals before you try and tackle that big goal is so important. And something that will help you take action a lot faster. Because if I'm saying to myself, I'm gonna get to 100,000 subscribers without a channel, without a plan, that's a really daunting goal. And it's too much to think about. So therefore, I'm never gonna take the action to actually do it, and becomes a should instead of a must. So break it down into micro goals. So for you, if you really wanna start a YouTube channel, first thing you can do is you can start just by making the channel itself. So we have a Boss YouTube channel checklist. I'll link to that below. It shows you the 14 steps to set up your channel in the right way. Make that your must for this week. So start with small actionable goals instead of trying to go like balls to the wall and do everything at once, because having those big audacious goals is great, but you got to break them up in order to actually get them done and take that action. So you have to start somewhere. And in my next episode, you're gonna actually dive into how to start generating passive income and all of the methods that you can do that with, and how I generate passive income in my business, meaning that I have money coming in and it may even be when I'm not working. So I'm really excited to dive into that with you, because you can do it from scratch. You can start from zero. And that's a good way to just start taking action and to start building a little bit of confidence in yourself to know that you can do this and start making money online without going crazy and trying to dive into the deep end first. So was this helpful for you? I hope that it was. Comment below and let me know what your biggest takeaway is, and hit that subscribe button and the bell to get notified every single time we post new videos just like this on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And I'll see you in the next episode.